Docker cheat sheet. Learn all the essential Docker commands for containers, images, compose, and production deployment. Container commands are what you use most in Docker. The run command creates and starts a container from an image. Use the D flag to run in the background and P to map ports. Use Docker exec to open a shell inside a running container for debugging. Image commands let you build, list, and manage Docker images. Use Docker build with the T flag to tag your image with a name. Pull images from registries like Docker Hub and push your own images for deployment. Clean up and used images with system pruned to free disk space. A Dockerfile is a recipe for building your image. Start with a base image using from, set a working directory, copy your files, and install dependencies. The CMD instruction defines what runs when the container starts. Always copy package files first to take advantage of layer caching. Multi-stage builds create smaller production images. The first stage installs all dependencies and builds your app. The second stage copies only the final output into a minimal base image like Alpine. This can reduce image size by 80% or more. Always use multi-stage builds for production. Docker Compose defines multi-container applications in a single YAML file. Declare your app, database, and cache as services. Use depends_on to set startup order and volumes for persistent data. Run everything with Docker Compose up and tear it down with Docker Compose down. Volumes store data that persists even when containers are deleted. Named volumes are managed by Docker and are best for databases. Bind mounts link a host folder into the container, perfect for development when you want live code reloading. Use volume prune to clean up and used volumes. Docker networking lets containers talk to each other by service name. When containers are on the same network, they can reach each other using the service name as the host name. The default bridge network works for most cases. Create custom networks to isolate groups of containers. Docker inspect and logs are essential for debugging. Use Docker logs with the F flag to follow output in real time. Use Docker inspect to see the full configuration of a container. Docker stats shows live CPU and memory usage for all running containers. Here are production tips for Docker. Always use specific image tags like node 20 Alpine. Never use latest. Run containers as non-root for security. Add a health check so Docker can restart unhealthy containers automatically. Always create a Docker ignore file to keep secrets out of your image. Compose commands you should know. Use Docker Compose up with the D flag to start in the background. Use Docker Compose logs to see output from all services. Docker Compose exec lets you open a shell in any running service. Use Docker Compose down with the V flag to also remove volumes. Common Docker mistakes to avoid. Forgetting Docker ignore copies node modules and environment files into your image. Using the latest tag in production means builds can break when the upstream image changes. Running containers as root is a security risk. Always pin your dependency versions. Quick Docker tips for your workflow. Use Docker Compose Watch for automatic container reloading during development. Cache dependency layers by copying package files before source code. Use environment files instead of hard coding values in your Compose file. Tag every image with the git commit hash for traceability. Docker layer caching speeds up builds dramatically. Docker caches each instruction in your Dockerfile as a layer. If a layer has not changed, Docker reuses the cached version. Put instructions that change less often like dependency installs at the top and frequently changing code like source files at the bottom. Environment variables configure your containers without changing code. Use the env flag at runtime or the environment section in Compose. Store sensitive values in an env file and reference it in your Compose config. Never hardcode passwords or API keys in your Docker file. That's the Docker cheat sheet. Check the blog post linked below for the full written version with more examples. See you in the next video.